honestly. My response to this question, are you guys anti-church, is no. I feel like I could kind of just hit the end of the button right now and turn off my recording device, but I won't. So you see, when people encounter this idea that we've kind of proposed, never pray again, they ask me like, well, what are you doing? You're pulling out the rug from within underneath the Christian faith, with underneath the church, that one of the primary things we do together as Christians, calling ourselves the church, is we pray. And so if you take that away, then clearly you are against the church, which is quite the opposite, actually. The three of us have devoted our lives and put our livelihoods on the line in order to serve the institutional church as pastors in our denominations. But that's not really the point. The point is that Jesus shows up wherever two or three are gathered. And if I'm given the choice between bowing my head and talking to God who is elsewhere, or looking at the person who is seated across from me in the eyes and talking about issues of faith, exposing my needs to them, sharing, begging with them, interceding on their behalf, sharing, confessing, talking to them about what wrong I've committed that has affected them, and genuinely expressing empathy and care, compassion, love, support for that person, then we're being the church. And then we call ourselves Christians. We begin to act like it. When we begin to do things like share things in common, not just in some metaphorical sense, but practically in terms of, I have this item that you can borrow, use, function, that I no longer need, that you might need. When we do those sorts of things, then we're being the church. So the question that I propose in response to, are you guys anti-church, is, what do you mean by church? If you mean a group of people who gather so that they can feel better about themselves at the end of the day, then maybe. If you propose people who get together to talk about a God who only exists out there, far away from here, then maybe. But the God I believe in is not a God out there. It is a God in here, enmeshed, squished with our dimension. And the best way to encounter God is to look for Jesus among us in community, that I like to call the church. So Jesus says, where two or three are gathered, I am there. So rather than looking down with my eyes closed, my intention is to look out into the eyes of the person sitting across from me, you, and see God in you first and foremost.
Oh, Steve.